This is the Jason Walker Show. Two-time National Sports Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, the Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Will Rasmussen joining us here on the Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famers, Mike Van Diest, joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course and at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on the Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
the Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Hey, happy Monday. The Jason Walker Show, and presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it is your vehicle, it is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Big show coming up inside the Major Mortgage Man Cave, as we'll check in with Amanda Atwell, sports director at the CBS and NBC stations down in Edinburg, Texas. We talked about it Friday, but remember the kid that tackled the official during a football game after being ejected. We'll talk to Amanda about that coming up. Also in about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, we'll check in with famed PRCA rodeo announcer Will Rasmussen. What's he up to? Oh, Wiley Will's got a new gig, and he'll share that some of that with us. And we'll talk a little bit about the Wrangler National Finals. He was down there the first couple of rounds. So we'll check in with Will coming up here shortly. Let's see. On this day in history. Oh, and we'll also do our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week as well. So that is all coming up. Some of the things we'll chat about this coming week. We'll check in with Miss Teen Rodeo Montana, Cody Carson. Also Miss Rodeo Montana, Katie Lynn Krause. And going to have some surprise guests as well. A week from today, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm not gonna spoil it, but a week from today, right here on the show, you're just gonna want to join in. Okay, you're just gonna want to be here for it. It's gonna be awesome. All right, let's do our daily. Oh, by the way, you can watch on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. You can listen on Podbean, Network One Sports, TreasureStateRadio.com. Go to email jason@jasonwalkershow.com, and you can also tweet us at jwalkersports. And if you missed anything, you go to jasonwalkershow.com. Got blocked again. I don't know when it happened, but it's been recently. Chris Peterson, the sports editor over at the Independent Record, blocked me on Twitter. I don't know why. From his work account, not his personal account. His personal account, he still follows me. But his 406 MT Sports Lee Enterprises account, a Twitter account, he blocked me. God forbid, Chris, that I see some 406mtsports.com content on your page that I'm going to end up seeing anyway. So I think it's just funny. I found that out, I don't know, Friday or Saturday. I don't even know what I was doing, but ended up finding out I was blocked. The Hell in a High radio guy blocked me too over the summer. Remember that we talked about that? Like, seriously, like, okay, dude. It's hilarious. Getting blocked is actually kind of a badge of honor. So there you go. All right. Over the weekend, today, 720 new cases of COVID reported, 213 in Yellowstone County. 68,591 total since March, 742 deaths, 492 currently in the hospital. 17,197 active cases. 50,652 Montanans have recovered, and that is awesome. There are almost 5,400 active cases in Yellowstone County. Just under 2,500 in Cascade, 2,100 in Flathead, and 1,800 in Lewis and Clark. Those are the 4 big ones right now across the state of Montana. And there you go. All right, so there's that. Let's see, what else were we going to... Oh, the NFR, the National Finals Rodeo. Night 5, they enter the halfway point tonight, and it's going to be interesting. It looks as if Sage Kimzey, six-time straight bull riding champ, looks like he's not going to... I don't think he's going to get 7 straight. There's a couple of youngsters that have been kicking some tail. Some Montanans doing well. Helena's Chase Tryon last night on the heeling end, along with partner Brenton Hall, won the 4th go at Globe Life Field. They went 4-2 to beat second place Clay Tryon and Jake Long. They went 4-8. Clay and Jake were in a 3-way split, a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, which still some good money. In bareback, Richmond Champion split 5th and 6th with Cole Reiner of Wyoming and Jess Pope of Waverly, Kansas. They each had an 85. Champion won the first round. He's second the average after 4 nights. And not sure if he's going to get the world title this year, but Tim O'Connell, who leads the bareback, won the go with a 90.5. Jess Brown, Montana State Cowboy, former, finished split 2nd and 3rd with Stetson Jorgensen in steer wrestling with a 3-9. Jacob Talley won it with a 3.4. Chase Brooks continues to do well. Brooks placed 3rd Thursday and Friday in the first 2 rounds. Last night was 4th and with an 84. Ryder Wright won the go and is back in first. He won the world championship 3 or 4 years ago, the youngster. Brooks, 2nd in the average. So Richmond Champion in bareback and Chase Brooks in saddle bronc, each sitting 2nd in the average, which pays out tremendous money at the end. So you want to stay in that average race. Haven Medjid got into the 5th place in tie down last night, tying Ryan Jarrett. Each got 5,500. Medjid's 9th in the average. And Lisa Lockhart, who won Saturday night, came back and just missed the money, it looks like, on Sunday last night. No, she placed last night. Yeah, she did. I think she was 5th or 6th, but she ended up with a paycheck. 13th in the average right now. That's because she's one of 3 that have knocked down a barrel. Lisa, through the first 3 rounds, was the only one to knock down a barrel. But she has bounced back to place all Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, had she not knocked over the barrel Thursday night, she would have won the go. But there you go. Let's see. Ty Wallace, rookie, won the bull riding. Stetson Wright bucked off for the 2nd straight time. He's trying to get the all-around title for the 2nd straight year. Wright won the 1st and 2nd. That Wright family is so good. And the NFR continues tonight down there in Texas. So there is your NFR update. And Friday we complained a lot about Cowboy Channel, but it's actually been working pretty nicely the last few nights. And it's nice to go back as well and rewatch if you missed anything. But kind of like going to the Jason Walker Show website. JasonWalkerShow.com. So there you go. Just came out, Frontier Conference Players of the Week for basketball. Jamal Stevenson of Western. The Bulldogs beat Yellowstone Christian by 10. Stevenson had 17 points, 5 boards. So Western's Jamal Stevenson is the Frontier Men's Player of the Week. And Natalie Denning of Western, the Women's Player of the Week. They pounded, the Bulldogs did, College of Idaho twice, winning by 32 on Saturday and 20 on Sunday. Denning averaged 16.5 points, 3.5 boards, and hit 4 out of 6 from the three-point line. Yeah. So there you go. There's your Frontier Players of the Week in basketball. It's a quick break. We'll come back, and when we do come back to the Major Mortgage Man Cave, Will Rasmussen will join us. Always love checking in this time of the year. Well, any time is a good time to check in with Will, but with rodeo going on, it's a perfect time to check in with Mr. Rasmussen. We'll talk to him about his new job next. Jason Walker Show. Coming right back, we're brought to you by Capital Collision Center.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Jason Walker here, and I want to tell you about a great place that's going to make you feel better in just an hour. Ocean Spirit Massage. From deep tissue to hot stone and more, Ocean Spirit Massage will get your sore, tired muscles feeling like new. Whether you overdid it working out, hiking the hills, playing golf, whatever it is, or even if you're pregnant, you will walk away feeling better than you have in years. Book now for yourself or make it a couples massage. And gift certificates are always available as well. Visit oceanspiritmassage.com or call 417-0542. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender. Yes, it's true that Montana is a long way from the Gulf Coast, but you can bring that Cajun flavor home with a stop at Cafe Zydeco. From po' boys to classic sandwiches, Cafe Zydeco has all the best Cajun in town. Are you in the mood for seafood gumbo or crawfish etouffee? Maybe you're craving jambalaya with some shrimp and grits. Head in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or call ahead for pickup or delivery. Cafe Zydeco will fix all your southern cravings, even on a chilly Montana day. Cafe Zydeco is a proud sponsor of The Jason Walker Show.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. This segment brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. Santa Elvis. Might be, who knows? Nobody's ever seen Santa and Elvis in the same room together. Santa hanging out. Got the Montana State helmet on today, so thanks to Santa for being part of the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We talked about our tree decoration last week. That is the wife's grandfather. That belonged to his mom. and that is his mom, Winifred, is who our daughter is named after. So pretty cool history with that Christmas tree. And it's awesome. Plus, it brightens up the place, right? I mean, it is Christmas season. Hanukkah starts on Thursday, so there's that Thursday at sunset. That'll be night 8 of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo down in Arlington, Texas. They are on night 5 tonight. Coverage getting underway at about 6 o'clock on the Cowboy Channel. What's really cool is if you tune in 15 minutes before, it's actually Cowboy Channel Plus. But what's really cool is you get to see all the opening ceremonies, national anthem, everything. It's, the grand entry. It's just awesome. So that's one benefit of moving from ESPN to CBS Sports Network to now on the Cowboy Channel, is we get to see everything, which is really cool. But anyway, chat about the national finals and how he's doing, just in general. Good friend of the show, Will Rasmussen, joins us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Well, he used to be a Montanan. He'll always be considered a Montanan, but now he's an Idahoan. And Will Rasmussen, how are you, my friend?
I'm a Montanan. I am great. I am doing good. I spent last week in Texas, in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington area, and took in a night of the NFR and went to the awards ceremonies and was on Outside the Barrel with Flint Rasmussen on RFD TV, and had a big time in Texas. Now I'm back in Idaho doing my thing here, my friend. How's everything with you?
We're doing well. We're still trying to get over COVID. It's not fun to deal with.
Yeah, I've been reading up on you.
Yeah. But we're doing all right. The wife and I are doing better. She got it a little less than I did, so I'm glad I got the brunt. But it was still mild. But I can see how older people are struggling with it for sure.
Right.
So you stay safe because you're older than me. Happy birthday, by the way, last Monday, right?
Yeah, I am older than you. Yeah.
Just a titch.
No, everything's good. Everything's good. It looks like I went to the one night for opening night of the NFR in Globe Life Stadium there in Arlington, where the Rangers have yet to play, where they played the World Series, and it's quite a spectacle. It's so much different than the Thomas and Mack in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big arena. All the back pens and everything are inside. Warm-up arena inside. It seats 44,000 people, and they spread out about 15 to 18,000 in those seats. And it's a beautiful facility. They share the parking lot with AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play. And so it's, it seems like it's, I shouldn't say it's going on without a hitch, because I know there's been some, while I was there, a couple of the competitors tested positive and had to go home without ever, competing, which is part of the deal, I guess. But that's tough, but that's the time we live in. So
I know one of them was Donna K. Rule, the barrel racer, and she was third in the world standings going in, and it was not. A lot of people were upset, but she didn't even get a chance to compete. And I did see though that they got 10,000. That's what happens every year though. If you qualify, you get 10 grand.
Right.
But then they're giving out 10 grand for if you have to miss days because of this. And do you know anything about that? I saw.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they got $10,000 just for making it, and I'm sure, which that's all part of the deal. They're trying to keep the payoff, and it appears that the payoff and the money that they win in the go-rounds and the average is remaining the same. And so, Donna K. Rule, she had the Horse of the Year in the WPRA and never got a chance to compete which would absolutely break your heart. And Caleb Smith is a two-time world champion tie-down roper, tested positive. He had to go home. So, yeah, they just sent him home.
It's nuts. You and I were talking the other day because I was so I couldn't hear the first couple of nights because the kid and all that's bedtime. I didn't get a chance to really watch. But what's the deal with the points versus the money this year? And it's still, it looks like the first. I mean, you're still getting over 26,000 now for winning a round or a go round like you used to, but they're using a point system now. Explain this, please.
Okay, I'll do my best to explain it how I understand it, or I'm partially guessing. They're providing points that match the dollars for go-round payoffs and average payoffs. Right now, I'm sure the dollars will be okay. What I had heard from a competitor was they need to complete 5 go-rounds with fans to assure that the payoff will be the same as it has been in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So those graphics, instead of dollars, they had points because they weren't sure, because Texas, they could shut them down anytime too and do it without fans. So they weren't sure. So it seems like tonight, round 5 is the magic one. So,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope those guys can win some money and, keep it the same. And I hope the fans can enjoy it. I hope that, the competitors get their money and everybody gets their money and keep the fans there. So they're certainly spread out and like I said, they're seating 15 to 18,000 people in a 44,000 seat venue. So
we talked to Cassie Turner, Miss Last Chance Stampede, on Friday, and she was there for the opening round too. And she said, and I want to see how you react to this. It wasn't even close because it felt like being at a baseball stadium. The echoey, the music, you couldn't really tell if you were being joined in applause with everybody else. She said it just was different.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I talked to Dakota Eldridge, who's a friend of mine. He was a guest on Flint's show the other day, and it's I was asking him about that, and he and I had the same opinion. As an announcer, you sit and listen to reaction of the audience. It's just so big. It's just so big in there. And Thomas Mack, you got 17 or 18,000 people that are right on top of you. So there's no way they could ever match the energy in a big venue like that compared to a smaller venue of the Thomas and Mack in Las Vegas. There's no way. And with it only being a third full, then the sound is, they're using the sound system in that arena that's used to, and batting third for the Texas Rangers, Jason Walker. They don't have, people talking over music that's being pushed and trying to get the energy where we're used to and we like it. It's just, it has its difficulties, but they're, it's been terrific. The openings are great. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem carried the American flag the other night, brought the house down. I know they had some, a military opening that's, has gone over great. And I'm sure after the first night, they've been trying to tweak it as they go. And so, everybody's just doing their best with, the hand that they've been dealt.
Yeah. Will Rasmussen joining us, the famed PRCA rodeo announcer, now a morning show host in Salmon, Idaho, which is awesome. But
I love it.
Yeah, no,
I love it.
It's great.
One of I've done since the middle of March. One of the rodeos was here in Salmon, Idaho. Rodeo I've done since 1995, I think. And I went in for a interview when I was here for the rodeo, and I said, I always wanted to be a morning guy on a radio station. Well, you're hired. And they laughed. I said, I'm calling you in 3 weeks. So I called them in 3 weeks, and a week later I was here. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're up in the mornings anyway, so I mean, this is nothing new.
Well, like you said, I'm old, and old people. Yeah.
So you're about ready to go to bed. You're about ready to have your 4:00 dinner and go to bed soon.
Take my Geritol and hit the sack. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
That's
go. Right. Will Rasmussen joining us. You're not there the whole 14 days like you normally would be in Vegas. Is that different and better?
Oh, it's different, not better. I just, one of my big sponsors that I have is Boyd Gaming, who owns 14 casinos, properties in Las Vegas and another 14 around the country. But none of them are near Dallas-Fort Worth,
Right.
So part of the sponsorship is me getting a chance to work for them while I'm in Vegas, provide lodging and food and all that stuff. And I just, given the year that we had, just to be frank, it was, I lost all my income, or almost all of it, over, I'll just be honest, well over $100,000 of income in 2020 because of, I'm overpaid. I get it, but that's my job. And I do some of the biggest, best rodeos in the country. And because I didn't have free lodging and food and them, having me do things for them and all that, I just couldn't afford to stay that long. But I wanted to go to the awards banquet because I was, nominated and all that stuff. I didn't want to miss that because you don't know when that'll happen again, if ever. So I went down there and for 3 or 4 days. Yeah.
Are we going to have to Tanya Harding, some of these, Bob Tallman and Wayne Brooks and these guys, so that you have a chance to win something? I know it's always great to be nominated and all that stuff, but man,
I would never do that. I love those guys. They're my best friends. They're my best friends. And at least I got to see them.
There you go.
That's harder financially is the emotional thing. I got to see my friends and I got to shake hands and hug. And I guess if I get sick doing that, then that's a chance I'm going to take. But I got to see my friends and life felt a little bit more normal, I guess, for a time. So, and you forget how much you miss it, and I'll never take it for granted if and when it ever comes back.
Will Rasmussen joining us here on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. The Montanans are kind of up and down at the NFR. Haven Medjed, who I spoke with last week on the show, hasn't had the run that he had last year, and he had some work to do anyway. I don't know if anybody was going to catch Shad Mayfield. But the Lisa knocking over a barrel, and for the first, 4 rounds, she was the only one to hit a barrel. The Tryons are doing pretty good. Chase Brooks just seems to be consistent. And it's been a pretty good rodeo for the most part so far through 4 rounds for the Montanans.
Yeah, I see Brady and Brenton, they won the round last night. And frankly, I've been traveling so much I haven't kept up as well as I should have. I know Chase Brooks is having a good week. I know he's winning some money. He's placed in maybe 3 out of the 4 go-rounds, and I know he's, it might be a little too early to talk about the average, but I know he's in the top 4 or 5 in the average. He's ridden all 4, and so he's having a good run. That team open is so up and down, and Haven's just, he'll be okay. He'll win a lot of money, and you look at that field of tied on ropers. You mentioned Mayfield. Well, Tyson Durfee's a world champion. Shane Hancey's a world champion. Tuff Cooper's a world champion. Marty Yates has been hot. Avon's there. He's a world champion. And he's 21 or 22 years old. And he had some breaks last year. The breaks are coming his way right now. As long as he, the old cliche, one night at a time, hopefully, he'll get in there and win some money. But he certainly made Montana proud. There's no doubt about that.
What's really cool, Will, is to see, it's great to see these guys that, that we're used to, like a Richmond champion who's now a Montanan. The rights are just consistent. But it's cool to see some of these rookies in all the events. And especially in bull riding, these guys, there's one from Australia that's leading the world right now. It looks like six time is going to stop at 6 time. I don't think Sage will get 7 in a row. But man, it's great to see these younger kids. And granted, a lot of this was because of COVID in a way, because of the summer, but it's nice to see these youngsters that are competing very well in their first attempt.
Oh, it's great. And there's always first timers, and maybe it's magnified a little bit because we only had a third of the season, maybe. And, but that guy you're talking about, Kai Hamilton from Australia, I watched him early last year in the rodeos I did do, like the big rodeo in Tucson, the big rodeo in Rapid City. And you could tell right then he was going to be a star. He is a star, and he's just a skinny little kid, about 20 years old. And man, he is tough to get on the ground, and he's fearless, And Brady Portnier, who's another one from Caldwell, Idaho, that I've become friends with, and kind of root for. He's been 16th in the world the last 2 years. And finally, he made it I think he went in 4th or 5th or something. And he's not having a great week, but he's there, and he's a first-timer. And so who's to say those first-timers wouldn't go there? Health is such a wild card, especially in the riding events. And Richie Champion, he is just so consistent, such good shape. And, in the bareback riding, you need that. And he rides so well. He won that $1 million at the American. It's been like 5 years ago now. Well, he's riding better now than he ever has.
Yep.
And so you're right. It's good to see. And the NFR is exciting. It doesn't have quite the, Dallas Fort Worth is such a big place, and people are so spread out. And so you don't get the buzz that you do in Las Vegas. Every property you walk into in Vegas has hats everywhere. And, in Las Vegas, 70% of the people that go to Vegas for the rodeo don't actually go to the rodeo because they have all those huge viewing parties in the showrooms of every casino in town.
Yeah.
So, and so they're not getting quite that, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because there's just, you can go to the Fort Worth stockyards and you can go to the John Wayne Museum and things like that. It's just a little different atmosphere. But I'm glad the rodeo is going on.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We didn't know if we were going to get to national finals. Speaking of some rodeos already being canceled for 2021, and then the circuit finals are being moved out of Great Falls or just to a different month.
It is the same. It all comes down to the county health department, how they want to handle it. And county health departments differ, even within the state.
Yeah.
So Great Falls would, the last I heard, they said, yeah, you can have circuit finals here, but you can only have 250 people in the building per performance. Well, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. So when usually they get between 400 and 4,500 people.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've moved it to the Majestic Valley Arena in Kalispell, and they are between Kalispell and Whitefish, and it's a Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night schedule, last I heard. And so that's how it's going to be. And Flathead County all summer long has been a little bit different than the rest of Montana. I did a rodeo in Big Fork, Montana, the 4th, 5th, and 6th of July that jammed 4,000 or 5,000 people in there.
Yeah.
Kalispell had their fair the 3rd weekend in August. So something's different in Flathead County than it is in a lot of other places in Montana. But that's where they're going to move it, and they are going to attempt to sell 1,000 or 1,200 tickets, something like that, for the circuit finals. And it's the same weekend that it was scheduled to be in Great Falls.
Okay. So getting to drive Highway 93 in the winter as opposed to I-15.
Well, depends on where you live. I'm just happy.
I know.
Yeah, I know. But what do you do? People say, well, let's not have fans. Well, I don't know.
You have to.
If you have a rodeo, you have 100% of the cost. If you can only sell 20% of the tickets, you have 20% of the revenue, and the sponsors, aren't getting their name mentioned in front of 4,000 people, 200. It's just tough. It's just tough. So, but there's something different in Flathead County than some of the other counties in Montana. So, I'll just leave it there.
Yeah.
Just leave it there.
At least we get to have it. That's the best part.
Right.
And a lot of these Montanans that we love, and some from Montana or Wyoming and Idaho that claim the Montana circuit, it's going to be great to see them, and it's going to be a great rodeo no matter what. 2 go-rounds in a day, though, that's going to be kind of weird.
Yeah, a lot of rodeos do that, different places. But they just wanted to consolidate. I'm sure rent of the facility had something to do with it, because they're, it's 100% of the cost, and they're going to lose money. They're going to lose tens of thousands of dollars. Having the circuit finals, having the same amount of money that competitors can win. And, that's just, they're doing what they can, because who knows what's going to happen later. They want to crown champions so they can send them to the Ram National Circuit Finals that is scheduled to go on in Florida, in end of March or beginning of April. And so and I'm not sure, what the qualifications will be. I guess the same. There wasn't there was a few rodeos in Montana, so we'll see, top 12 in each event. So, that's a victory, I think, so far, that we're at least having it.
Yeah.
So,
because we lost Chase Hawks, which would have been next weekend.
Yep.
That great rodeo.
Same thing. I mean, they can't have enough people in an area. And part of the huge fundraiser for Chase Hawks was the night before. They had a big dinner, dance, auction, silent auction, Calcutta the Cowboys. There was 1,000 people in a room in Billings. Well, they weren't going to let them have that either. So that was part of the fundraising efforts too. So
it's frustrating.
Yeah,
it is.
It's hard. It's frustrating. It sure has turned a lot of lives around, and I hope everybody in the rodeo business can survive. But 2021, some of us will get by this year. I don't know. Time will tell, I guess.
It's like Montana State football coach Jeff Choate has said a couple of times that, we can do a whole year without college football, but 2 years it would be bad. And it's the same with rodeo. I mean, we've made it to 2020 in the end, but if we have to do the same thing next year in the rodeo world, there's going to be a lot of people struggling. Well,
these universities that aren't having football, that doesn't only hurt football, but it has, that's a $10 million hit every time the Grizzlies and the Bobcats play in their hometown to the economy. And football funds other sports and other academics. And so it's going to affect the tuition of universities, not only in Montana, but all over the country. And so it's, the economics, and, people's opinions vary, and all of them are fair, but we just got to figure out get the world back on its feet again. So.
Well, you are on your way to get back on your feet with doing mornings. What type of music is this? This is a country station, I'm guessing.
Mostly when Will Rasmussen is on. When Will Rasmussen is on, it's mostly it's country. Of course, it's this is an agricultural town and tourist town, so as the morning goes on, there's a little bit. It's a good mix of music. Yeah, you can't go wrong playing Alan Jackson. That's all I'll say. How's that?
That is awesome.
I'm loving it. I am loving it. I told our good friend Bob Tolman, who fellow announcer, and he was so happy because all of us were down in the dumps trying to figure out what to do. And I said, and he was so happy for me when I got this job, and I said, Bob, I have a microphone in front of my face for 4 hours a day, and I'm talking to people, and I forgot how much I missed it. So I'm pretty happy. I'm happy to get up at 4:30 every morning.
Well, that is good. If they need anybody else, I'm available as well. So
you'll be the second to know.
If they need a sports guy or
there you go.
A DJ. I used to DJ before I did sports, so I can still hit a post on a ramp and I can talk up songs all day long. So
I forgot how much I missed that, and it helps me in my announcing game, and announcing has helped me in the radio game. And I did radio way back when in the 80s when I was a college kid in Bozeman, Montana, with the KXXL radio in Bozeman, Montana, and I loved that job. And when I sat in that chair the first morning on October 5th, I thought, oh, man, I remember now. So anyway, it's been so good. I miss our sport, but this gives you a purpose. So,
what's awesome about radio is KXXL was a powerhouse in the 70s and 80s down there in Bozeman, as we all know. And when we started XL Country, KXLB, we took the XL for in honor of XL or KXXL. So that's how XL Country got its name in Bozeman.
Oh, that's a new one. The KXXL, they were the number one station in the Gallatin Valley when I worked there. Not because of me, but
Well, that would have been Dean Alexander, right?
No, that was KBOZ, KXXL.
Well, Dean was so he was already past KXXL then. Okay.
Or joined him later. I can't remember all that, but those were. But I knew Dean Alexander. He was the voice of the Bobcats for all those years. So fun. Yeah, I'm happy.
That's all that matters. That is what matters the most, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
I appreciate you letting me chat with you for a while.
You can come on anytime.
All you have to do is call. I'm in your top 5. I know that. So.
I think you may have surpassed Flint now as most appearances.
Well, tell our mother, will you? Yeah, tell our.
Hey, real quick, how about Stephanie Quayle last night? Did you see her singing the anthem? She did a really nice job.
We had a chance to short. We had I have a show on now that I've created called the Rodeo Road Show. Mm-hmm. And I had Ned Ledoux on the other day, and then it's just an interview thing for 10 or 12 minutes. And so he invited us to where he was putting on a show in Fort Worth. So we went, and Stephanie Quayle was for him. And I knew Stephanie Quayle half a dozen years ago, but my daughter, who was with me, knew her sang backup vocals for a time with Stephanie. So we got a chance to see her the other night. So awesome. I didn't see her sing the anthem, but great.
She did a nice job. There's my uncle lives down there, and he went to school with Flint. So you could have stayed with my uncle if I would have known.
It must have taken a dozen years for Flint to get through school, because everybody I ran into went to school with Flint.
And that was just 2 years of college. It took 12 years. But I think, because I thought of Stephanie when she was singing last night, I thought of your nieces and how awesome they did at the PBR and how awesome they would be at the National Finals Rodeo to sing maybe next year in Vegas.
Isn't that great? I was proud of them.
Oh,
I was.
They're so good. They're funny.
Yeah.
They are funny. Like, I used to think Flint was funny, and then I thought you were funny, but those girls are really funny.
Yeah. There's 4 or 5 people in the world funnier than Flint. So, you know, I love Flint.
I know.
You know, I love Flint.
I know. Yeah. You guys, I love your little quips back and forth on social media about age and stuff. And but happy birthday. Because you share a birthday with Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota.
Well, let me tell you. Well, I won't go there. She's a great lady. I had a chance to meet her a couple times. Yep. She's a great lady.
And the late Mindy McCready. Her birthday was last Monday as well.
That's right. So, 10,000 angels. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, well, my friend, keep up the good work. I'm glad you're amongst the willing and able to be back in radio. And I can't wait to see you at a rodeo sometime.
I am lucky. I'm lucky to be able to do this. So thanks to the people of Salmon, Idaho for letting me chat with them every week or every day.
There you go.
Thank you, Jason.
Get some rest, and we'll talk soon, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
See ya.
Bye.
Will Rasmussen. Oh, love that family. Love that guy. He's so good, and I'm glad he's doing something. Because he was trying to figure out without no rodeos what to do, and I'm glad he's working in radio. That's awesome. Quick break, and when we come back, we are going to check in with Amanda Atwell. She is the sports director at the CBS and NBC stations down in Texas, and we're going to talk about that kid. I don't remember if you remember what happened last week. We talked about it on Friday, but kid that was arrested, high school kid, for tackling. Well, he didn't really tackle him. He hit him pretty good, but the official, the referee. So we'll talk to Amanda Atwell, who covered it, that story, next here on the Jason Walker Show.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918. Or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. This segment brought to you by Mark LaRoe Photography. Mark's got his calendars out. Go to marklaroephotography.com. You can get the Cowboys of Western Montana or the Scenic Montana calendar. And these things are big. I mean, there's no mistaking what day of the week it's going to be. And unbelievable photos. June of next year. This is the Cowboys of Western Montana. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Mark LaRoe Photography.com. All right, so last week on Friday, we talked about a kid down in Texas that had gotten arrested, and for basically being a dumbass. But he decided to attack the official after he was kicked out of a game, and it was not good. And here to chat about that and the next steps moving forward, the sports director of CBS 4 and NBC 23 in Edinburg, Texas. It says Amanda Atwell joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. Well, I appreciate you joining us. It's kind of a messed up deal all around. Was it Thursday night last week? Was it Emmanuel Doran basically tackled a ref, Amanda, and this was something that I don't know if a lot of people have ever seen before. What were your thoughts when you first saw it?
Yeah, honestly, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. Apparently, we had a pretty similar situation happen a couple years ago in Texas as well. Two players actually attacked a ref from behind in the middle of a play. But this is kind of unprecedented. That was more of an orchestrated thing. This was just kind of heat of the moment. He was super upset and just felt the need to, I guess, take out his anger. We kind of watched it unfold. I originally saw a tweet from one of our local newspaper guys, and that's how, because I was at the station. I had a reporter at the game, though. So I called my reporter at the game, and he was just kind of frozen, didn't even realize what he just watched. It was just kind of a shocking moment to see. Luckily, that referee is supposed to be okay. We haven't gotten a major update on him, but he apparently only suffered a minor concussion and an injured shoulder. But yeah, this kid's decision kind of led to a really unfortunate situation for his entire team. I don't know if you know much about Texas football this year, but especially down here in the Valley, this was one of the areas that was most heavily hit by COVID pretty early on this summer. So they already started later than the rest of the state as it was. And most teams only got in on average about 5 games, whereas the rest of the state, most of them got in nearly their entire 10-game schedule. So they already had a shortened season. And then this kid made this decision at Edinburg. The school went on to win that game, and this secured them a spot in the playoffs. Well, the school district decided to not let them advance to the playoffs, and then subsequently they decided to protest, but the UIL came out and said that regardless of whether or not the school district had made the decision to pull them out of the playoffs, that the UIL would have barred them from the playoffs. So really unfortunate. It affected his entire team and just kind of ended a season that otherwise they would have been able to play that extra game, which means so much to all of these seniors and, all the players in general.
So he was then arrested on Friday morning, is that right?
Yes. So after the game, he was arrested and he was booked in, I believe, the Salco County Jail. The next day, he posted bail. I think his bail was $10,000 or so, but he was charged with assault. The school district has not updated us beyond that, but I would think it's safe to assume he will not be playing any more UIL sports, and what's even more not interesting, unfortunate, is that there was a similar situation with this player last year. He actually got in an altercation with a referee playing for the Edinburg soccer team. That situation was more of just like kind of a shove, not obviously a body slam knocking the referee on the ground, but it was enough to get him kicked off the soccer team. So this was a second incident. So I think it just kind of draws into the question, what was done the first time around as a repercussion in an effort to make sure something like this wasn't going to happen again, which obviously it happened again. So where did the administration fall short there?
Well, and Amanda Atwell joining us. She is the sports director at CBS 4 down in Texas. So this kid, obviously, I mean, we don't want to ruin his life. We don't want to ruin any chances of the future. But he obviously has some issues. If you said this happened a year ago in soccer and then this year in football, what steps are being taken to maybe get him some help?
It's really unclear at this point. He's not only with soccer, he was kind of an all-around really just solid athlete. He was also a really big-time wrestler for Edinburg, and he was one of the best players on Edinburgh's football team and one of the best defensive tackles in the Valley. He was probably getting looked at from D1 schools. So yeah, the next question I would say is what kind of help is school going to, or what are the next steps? And the school has not updated on us on what steps being made or what steps were even made after that original altercation. They haven't responded to requests for interviews. They've just released statements, basically.
This is just a crazy situation, and I know, I'm here in Montana. How far from like the Dallas area are you for people so we can kind of have an idea of where Edinburg is?
Okay, so basically we're a border town, so we are on the border of Mexico. We are about, I would say, I'm from DFW. I have never driven to DFW. I fly every time, but I believe it's about a 7-hour drive if you were to drive it. From the Austin area, we're about a 4.5-hour drive.
Okay.
So big state.
Yeah, just moderately.
Yeah. But yeah, so just kind of a sad situation all around. I will say this is probably the first time a lot of people have heard about Edinburg, Texas. Even me, I'm a lifelong Texan. I've lived in this state for most of my life. I had never been to Edinburg. I had never heard of Edinburg before I moved down here. And just, I mean, that's how large Texas is. A lot of places in the state you may never go to. But it does not represent Edinburg or the Valley in general as a whole. The vast majority of athletes, I would say all the athletes I've had direct contact with, interviewed with, covered, have just been the most respectful, good kids. I mean, we've covered Edinburg, and nobody's ever seen something like this. And that's one thing a lot of people don't know about the Valley is it's a very Hispanic-dominated community, and Hispanic families are very heavy on respect, family-oriented, and so this is just a very out-of-character thing to be happening down here because it's just a very respectful-oriented community. And it's a very low-crime community as well. You don't really see much like this happen. If you don't know much about the border, a lot of people think it's a high-crime area. This is actually one of the lowest violent crime areas to live in the state of Texas. It's a very safe community, so it's just things like this very rarely happen.
You're a Texas girl. You went to. You're from the Dallas area, like you said. The NFR this week is in Arlington at Globe Life Field. Would you want to go up to cover that?
Yes, I would love to. Actually, I mean, if they wanted me to, I would go up there. I doubt we don't really have quite as many rodeo fans down here in the Valley as we do in Fort Worth. My high school had a rodeo team.
Oh, nice.
That's much different. I actually do have one of my closest friends. My last market was Amarillo, which is a much different part of the state. And for more perspective, Amarillo is an 11-hour drive from where I live now.
Okay.
It's up in the Panhandle, and one of my friends from up there is actually covering the NFL this weekend in Arlington. Yeah.
My wife spent a couple of weeks in Amarillo. She was not a fan. But
yeah, it's very flat. There's not much, and it's very far from everything.
She did try the Big Texan, though.
Oh, I actually never tried the Big Texan. I've just heard it's a massive. Yeah, I mean, everybody told me it's a massive tourist trap. You can get a much better steak other places in town.
That's kind of what she thought was. It's the steaks weren't that great. So, but she didn't try to do the challenge either, which is ridiculous.
Oh God, it's disgusting to watch.
This is very cool because I'm a big supporter of women in athletics and women in reporting, radio or television. You're sports director. That's very cool. We have a friend up in Spokane that is the first female sports director at Creme 2 up there, Brenna Green. But congratulations, because that's awesome that you're the sports director down there.
Yeah, thanks so much. I think I'm actually also the first female sports director in South Texas as well. So
awesome.
I was pretty stoked about that.
But. So you were a Longhorn grad, is that right?
Yes, I am a Longhorn grad.
How often are we going to ask, are they back?
I never have personally come on and said that they are back, because to me, I just feel like you have to establish what is back. Where do we need to be back at a national championship game, or do we just want to be back to at least above an 8-win season every single year? Which both seem pretty far off at the state we're at currently.
That is very true. Amanda Atwell, she is the sports director at CBS 4, and what's the other, Fox?
It's CBS 4, and then it's NBC 23. We are a duopoly.
Okay. Yes. So CBS and NBC. So you get all the football, which is good.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate you joining us, and I know it's short notice, and I know you got a lot of work to do, so I'll let you roll. But thank you for the coverage and the update, and I look forward to chatting with you in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Amanda Atwell. And she had to get rolling. She's got sports to produce as the sports director. So it's a tough story. And again, you don't want to throw the kid. You don't want to ruin his hopes. But the pictures of Manuel Duran. I mean, this dude's ripped. I can't imagine he played soccer. He did, but I can see him wrestling in football. And man, he is. You just feel bad for the whole situation. As we show you some of the photos from it, but yeah, he was not happy about it was a roughing the passer and then an unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's what got him kicked out of the game, and then that's what precipitated the attack on the official, the assault. I believe it's a first class or class A felony that he has been charged with. So unfortunate. All right, let's do our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. And, Christmas is literally just around the corner. Like 2.5 weeks, 12 days, right? Are we in the 12 days of Christmas yet? Let's see, that would be 7. No, not yet. Close. Can I do math? What is 20? No, we're 18 days away. Christmas Eve is 17. Okay. We're close to the 12 days of Christmas. Anyway, our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. And Auto Concepts, great ideas. Gift certificates. Mm-hmm. Remote starters. Mm-hmm. See where I'm going with the Christmas gifts here? The theme? Auto Concepts. Get there, check them out, and tell them you heard it on the Jason Walker Show. All right. We'll do our Performance of the Week. And we're just going to flat out give it to Montana State women's basketball player Tori Martell. Why? Well, she hit a school record 8 threes yesterday in a win over North Dakota. By the way, the Lady Grizz just got the first win for Mike Petrino. They beat North Dakota as well. But Tori Martell yesterday led the Bobcats to an 18th straight win dating back to last year, which is cool. But she hit a school record 8 3-pointers. It broke broke Amy Meckling's record from 2000 against Air Force. I called that game. That was a lot of fun. And a couple other ladies had tied at 7, but Tori Martell with 8 and a new school record. That is our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. Today is December the 7th. It is National Cotton Candy Day. It is Illinois Day. It is also Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. On this date in 1941, the Imperial Japanese Navy, with 353 planes, attacked the U.S. fleet at Pearl Harbor Naval Base, Hawaii, and 2,403 were killed, including 15 Montanans. 1907, Eugene Corey becomes the first referee in a boxing ring. 1937, Red Sox acquire the contract of 19-year-old Ted Williams from, I believe, San Diego. Or San Francisco. I don't know. He was playing minors. Lou Gehrig elected to the Hall of Fame in 1939, posthumously. 1956, Pat McCormick, American diver, wraps up the women's double, going with the 10-meter platform gold in Melbourne. Also won the 3-meter springboard gold. 1956 as well, down in Melbourne Olympics, Soviet artistic gymnast Larissa Latynina took her gold medal to 4, her tally. Won the team and individual all around, and also won the vault individually and floor exercise. 1963, the first use of the instant replay machine invented by CBS. It was in the Army-Navy game. Happy birthday, Johnny Bench, the Hall of Fame catcher, born on this date in 1947. And Larry Bird, Larry Legend, born on this date in 1956. A couple others, 1808, James Madison elected the 4th president. 1836, Martin Van Buren elected the 8th president of the United States.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
All right, not sure if you saw this story, but there was the quarterback at UNLV, Max Gilliam, was on a reality show, I think this summer, called Below Deck. He got in a little bit of trouble. The coach was saying that he represents everybody, represents UNLV in public. The coaching staff and university at UNLV saying we're unaware of the details until it was brought to our attention this morning. We're reviewing the matter internally. However, when we talk intently about what we're building here, we mean thoroughly and completely, blah, 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 the players, you represent UNLV. I don't know what Gilliam did wrong. So here's his apology. Quote, I would like to apologize for my poor judgment while on the TV show Below Deck and acknowledge that I have made a mistake that I will learn from. While it was not my idea nor any of my friends' ideas to eat sushi off a model, a naked model, I believe, as well, I should have exercised better judgment and declined the idea immediately when it was brought up by the producers. This is not a reflection of my character or the way I was raised, nor a reflection of the culture of UNLV football. I would like to humbly move past this and focus my time and energy on our game against the University of Hawaii this weekend. Thank you, Max Gilliam, end quote. I don't know what he did wrong. He ate some sushi off a model, off her, belly. What's wrong with this? I just I don't get it. Yeah. Don't punish the kid. He's having fun. All right. The walk-off brought to you by Cafe Zydeco. Stop by 625 Euclid in Helena. We have gift certificates. More we're going to give away coming up. Tomorrow, Miss Teen Rodeo Montana Cody Carson will join us from Texas. We appreciate Amanda Atwell joining us, CBS 4 and NBC 23 in Edinburg, Texas. Also, PRCA rodeo announcer Will Rasmussen. Appreciate his time as well. We'll do it again tomorrow at 4. Make sure you go to jasonwalkershow.com if you missed anything. And we are presented in the Major Mortgage Man Cave by our friends at Capital Collision Center. See you tomorrow at 4.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.